As long as we continue to equate grace with affluence and material magnificence, carnality will continue to ravage God's church. And there will be saints taking gifts to Babylon and kissing the feet of Babylon's sons in order to get crumbs of this grace. And I say this respectfully. Are we not worried that a young man who obviously swindles people of their money to make a living comes to church in a fleet of tinted cars with his convoy, throws money up at the pulpit, and everyone, including the pastors, looks in awe and excitement at this child of grace that God has blessed? Are we not worried that a musician whose songs are about violence and drugs and sex and sexual organs receives an award and dedicates it to God, who is his inspiration? And depending on just how affluent he is, as long as he can sprinkle a little bit of Jesus every now and then, the grace of God is credited for the wonder that is his life. Are we not even a little bit worried that almost every time a song about the grace of God is depicted in a music video, there is some element of a grass to grace story? So in the beginning of the video, the protagonist is seen in impoverishment, he's suffering, and then by the end of the video, the protagonist now has a cool mansion, rides a cool car, has a cool job, or is awarded a contract worth millions. It almost always goes like this. And I don't even think that the people who make these videos think much about the plot, because it is sort of already a given. If the song is about the grace of God, then it must have a grass to grace story, because how else can we depict the grace of God? But it is interesting because I think that grace also looks like the primary school teacher who has been given the classroom as his mission field, who lives in his decent, comfortable home, has a roof over his head, has food on the table, clothes on his back, and is preserving a generation of boys and girls in the will of God just by showing up for work every day. It is interesting because I think that grace also looks like the obscure pastor who shepherds a church of less than 100 people who are growing solid in the faith and living purposeful lives with families filled with love.